Hi, I'm Laura from laurathomasauthor.com. I'm a published author and a book lover, and today I want to share a book review with you for this wonderful historical fiction, Bloomsbury Girls by Natalie Jenner. Now, this is a standalone novel, but it's also a continuation from Natalie's previous novel named The Jane Austen Society, which I absolutely adored, and that came out in 2020. As a side note, she also has another novel, another continuation coming out next year, and that is called Every Time We Say Goodbye. So that's something to look out for in 2024. But back to now. Bloomsbury Girls. It was published last year, 2022, by St. Martin's Press, and it's a charming story set in England in 1950, right after World War II. If you adore stories about bookstores and books and strong women and all things literature, I think you're going to really love this one. The cover is really pretty. It's very cheery with a bloom of a flower on the front, and it has three women linking arms as they walk down the street outside, of course, a bookstore. I think it captures the essence of the story and of the time period beautifully. The storyline, without giving any spoilers, as I said, it was set in 1950 London, England, and the story revolves around Bloomsbury Books, which is a bookstore steeped in tradition and, let's say, resistant to change. The manager has 51 stuffy rules of conduct, which the staff are to abide by. Now, in the aftermath of World War II, employees Vivian, Grace, and Evie, they sense that hope could be on the horizon for women in the workplace, and they are all about breaking the rules. So we have Evie, and if you've read the Jane Austen Society, you'll recognize this character. She's now just graduated from Cambridge University. She's a rule follower and whip smart, and she finds herself working at this bookstore. Next, we have Grace, who is the eldest of the three friends, and sadly, she's in an abusive marriage, and she's struggling with the balance of her family, home life, and her dreams while she works in the bookstore, which she really enjoys. And then lastly, we have Vivian, who I adore. She's a feisty character. She's an aspiring writer. She sees herself as managing the bookstore, not just working at the counter. And she's also kind of overlooked as a writer. And she has a whole host of stuff that she's going through in her private life also. So these three very different women with three very different personalities, they work together and they achieve accomplishments beyond their wildest dreams by drawing not only on their own strengths, but also with the help of some real life literary female figures from back in the day. So, some of the pros for me, it's a book about bookstores, and I'm a sucker for that. And the author herself calls it her tribute to the magic of bookstores and the way they bring so many people together from so many different walks of life. I love that. I also enjoyed the romance. They're definitely subplots for all three of these women, but they're definitely there and they're quite delightful. Also, we hit on some hot topics, obviously women in the workplace and sexism and racism, these strong female characters. It's a very, very compelling read. And also, as I mentioned before, these literary figures from real life, delightful surprises, and I think you'll really enjoy how the author has really weaves these real life women into this fictional story. It's very clever and it's beautifully done. The cons, if there's any at all, As I said, it's a standalone, but I think probably for the very best, the richest experience, I would advise that you read the Jane Austen Society before you read Bloomsbury Girls. You don't have to, but I just think you'll get a bit of a fuller picture of everything going on. So that's my recommendation. Some say that the sexism in the story is a little heavy-handed or a little bit repetitive, but I'll leave that for you to decide. And then some also said that it was a slower paced read for them. But you know what? I think not every book has to be a nail-biting page turner. And for me, I enjoy the gentle pace. I found it charming and delightful and beautiful. So in summary, bonds of friendship, determination, and courage seep through the pages of this charming story celebrating women, writers, and the love of bookstores. If you'd like to pick up a copy of Bloomsbury Girls, I have included an Amazon link down in the comments below. I've also included a link to the author's website, just in case you want to check out a little excerpt from the upcoming book as well. So I'm going to include that below. And before you hop off, if you could like and subscribe so you don't miss any more book reviews, that would be wonderful. And if you want to find out anything about my books, you can find out everything on my website, which is laurathomasauthor.com. Thanks so much for listening and happy reading.